See here.
You guys got enough room?
Huh?
You guys got enough room?
Yeah.
Are you using it?
I don't want to.
What kind of apple?
What?
What kind of apple is that? Yo, this class, look at this, that looks like a nerd.
I want to. Yeah, I'll write it in pencil. There we go.
Give me that marker. There's your fruit. Give me that marker. Which one? I'm gonna go like this, watch.
Ooh.
Doesn't have to be red, it can be anything. Wherever you see it, wherever it's looking at. Now here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stretch out one. You'll have to get one of these. You know, and I have your coming back.
Huh? Give me a big one. You were referred to it. Didn't you were recommended to it? Yeah. I was accidentally joined you. I'll tell you. I was told you big ones.
I'll give you 2 big ones. You gotta give me 3 big ones. I'll give you 2. And you gotta give me 3 back. There you go. See how that works? I'll give you 2, you give me 3 back.
You did that first.
Right there in the dark chair.
Where? I skipped you, I went on for something maybe. It's gonna be you, and then Lily.
You have.
You're probably gonna want to take that out of there. Yeah, look in on that table. See that pink mini thing? Just push them right there. Oh no, yeah. Yeah. Pull it out of there. We're gonna use it.
Serious. I heard a story about you today. Back in 5th grade, you brought your rug.
That's probably from Mark.
Yeah.
I didn't give you any, did I?
Yeah, Mark did tell me that.
Yeah, he's always saying something.
I already gave you guys back, right?
I don't like Mark really.
Huh?
I don't like Mark really.
Why?
Alrighty then, we are ready to start getting our notebooks organized. You're gonna do this. All of our pages and titles, they're all gonna match. Okay? They don't have to be colored the same way, but I mean, you've got to keep up and you've got to follow. So for right now, would you take the first 2 sheets of paper and paper clip them at the top? That's all. You don't have to write anything. Just take the first 2, paper clip them together. Don't tear them out. Don't tear them out. Leave them in there and just paper clip them and push them off to the side. Paper clip them. And I say at the top, but it doesn't matter. You might actually like a paper clip at the bottom later. That paper clip might get in your way. And if you want to move it out to the side, the bottom, you'll see whatever works for you. Okay? So we got those 2 off to the side. Then I want you to bundle 5 sheets of paper together. So take those 2, bundle them, set it off to the side. Now go get the next 5 sheets and bundle together with another paper clip.
Dave, can you count to 5 big guys?
I hope we're not writing on me.
We are. We are.
What's the matter?
No, he's
have a
No, I'm talking to
paper
him.
clip. Oh, okay.
I'm not talking to
Okay.
the. I was talking to the paper plate. I was talking to him.
Would you take your third paper clip, we'll be using it later, just attach it to the front cover. Front cover just by itself. Just attach it. So you've got one paper clip on the cover, you've got 2 sheets together with another paper clip, 5 sheets together with a paper clip. So you got a paper clip on the cover, you got 2 sheets and a paper clip, then you got 5 sheets and a paper clip. Okay? Alright, would you go back to the very first paper clip, and would you make a heading across the top, maybe with a marker, might be nice, that says Table of Contents. Just way across the top, marker, Table of Contents.
Come on, David, you got this.
No, he's having trouble.
What?
Keep rolling it. Keep rolling it.
Maybe with that hand, you deserve
Exactly.
it.
You got it all squared away with that paper clip?
I think so. I think.
Then turn that off to the side, and would you go to the next paper clip where you got the 5 things bundled together, and would you give it a title, Words Worth Knowing? Words Worth Knowing as a title.
What?
First one is Table of Contents. Move it off to the side. Next is Words Worth Knowing. Would you take that set of pages, flip it off to the side, and then on the next available page, like this, right here, that's where, when we start to make our book, that's where our book will actually start. Most books have all that stuff at the beginning before the book actually starts. So then, the next one is going to be the title of our book, Essentials for Algebra 2. Essentials for Algebra 2. Write it across, you can write it vertically, that's just a title page, you can decorate it later, color it, anything that you want. Essentials for Algebra 2.
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Alright, now just take that exact page, you won't have this next stuff, but just flip it off to the side, go down to the bottom and start numbering with a 1, and then a 2. They don't have to be in the corners, they can be bottom, center, wherever you want to number your pages. But that's just immediately on the back of that title. Turn the page, and as soon as you turned it on that left side is page 1. Left side is page 1. The right side would be page 2, and then just keep numbering until you get bored for a while and we're ready to move on to something else.
What are we starting? You got
Yes,
this, baby?
back of that
Oh, I got this, man.
Are you gonna return it to Ryan?
Probably not.
No?
Nope. Rude.
Rude. Dude, Adam told me that he's with you.
What?
You
You in trouble, dude?
good?
You in trouble? There you are.
No, he didn't say that. I was like, how do you know Josh was like 5 star?
Okay, and that's enough numbering. You can, number later when you're waiting on somebody to get caught up to where you are. Then when you're ahead, you can always go back and number. Let's go back to the table of contents. At the front to the table of contents. And let's get page 1 and 2 in place and some headings. So, no matter what you've chosen to use, you've probably got that little line that goes down the margin. So over at the top of that, just put a label that says page, and then on the big section, write title. And our first pages we will be doing are pages 1 and 2, and that's going to include our course syllabus and information. Keep an eye on your buddy next to you, and if you see them get ready to make a mistake, help them out. If you're not sure, if you fall behind, just ask to see what they've done. They'll help you out. Okie dokie, we are ready to then go fill in page 1. So let's go in your book, go find page 1. And on the first day, Mr. Stoddard and I gave you a big full-size version of our syllabus. He's now giving you a smaller version of that, and you can watch up here while he's doing that. It's two-sided, and so watch when things are two-sided, you're either going to tape it up at the top so that you can lift it up and read the rest, or just depending on the way it's copied, like look at that, I think this is the one that if you flip it, that it's upright, so that makes the most sense to tape it at the top. Sometimes it might make more sense to tape it along the left-hand side so you could turn it left to right to read the other side. So you got rolls of Scotch tape in your basket. I just want you to tape that paper, that's the same one as you got the other day, tape it across the top so that you're able to lift it up and read the rest. And that goes on page 1. So go to page 1 of your book, and just tape it across the top so that you're able to read the other side.
One I just handed out, that's the one that goes on that first page. One said essentials for Algebra 2.
Remember, that's got all of the class periods if you need help to see if it matches up to Mr. Stoddard or I, and where we'll be, times that you can do that, what's your grade breakdown.
We need to take it. Yep. Xavier? I was just curious, maybe if I can. What? Can I borrow? Can I borrow
Is it on tape? Is it all gone?
Yeah, Xavier's got it.
Okay, sure.
I like to play with it.
What?
Share the wealth.
Gosh.
I'll fight it over to put it
It's just a tape. Taking the oil.
I don't think
Over
it's
across our
gonna start
borders.
with.
Taking our tape. Ah,
That's my
yeah.
son, that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Isn't that great? I already gave you. I already got it.
Golly.
That's not-
And then your page 2 is the other half sheet that Mr. Stoddard gave you. But you need to read that sheet so you know what this is all about. Either read it before you tape it in place. You can glue it. It's not two-sided. If you'd rather glue the one-sided stuff down, there's glue sticks in there. Especially the ones that are purple. They're kind of fun and cool. You glue. And don't take glue and smear it over the whole thing.
Yeah, Xavier.
That was the one I gave you and I set upside down for most of you.
We got a lot of days ahead of us to tape and glue,
You're
so go
about to.
sparingly with the tape and the glue. Like the corners will be just fine, as cool as it is, that purple glue is cool.
How to page, yes, how to.
And you want to read that because a big part of your grade is based on this notebook. So you need to read those things so that you don't start out on a bad note with your notebook.
Dude, Josh,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep this.
let me tell you something.
Remember, tape can just be the corners. You don't need to put tape the whole way around the perimeter of a paper.
Dude,
No, turn that sideways. I turn mine sideways.
dude.
And you can always fold them too. If something doesn't fit, just fold it, just tape it along the edge.
You're retarded. You're retarded. That was you just said. You're retarded. Oh, you're going to. I'm going to tape and glue. Taking precautions.
The next to last bullet on that says one of the categories on the rubric when we're grading your interactive notebooks is the use of color to improve the clarity of the message. Sometimes we're going to ask you to color things in a certain way. A lot of times it's up to you to highlight the important stuff so that when you're going back through it, it's easy to find. You get to use these, you get to use your own for quizzes, not tests. You get to use these for quizzes. So the better job that you do right from the beginning, the easier your quizzes are going to be.
Hear that? Hear that, Xavier?
What?
I think everybody's caught up. We're going to get ready for page 3 and 4. When you get this page, look up here and I'll show you the way that you're going to cut it out. You're going to cut it out into these two pieces. You got this pyramid shape piece, and then you got these connected different sized rectangles. So cut these two out of the next one that you're getting.
You got this, Xavier. Like the old ones. These aren't very dull. Xavier, watch out. Xavier.
What?
Be careful.
Be careful. Where you just see.
There you go.
That's what I would do, Xavier.
You shape that?
Josh.
That's what I would do, Xavier.
That's good. Third day of Algebra 2. I'm not sure.
Garrett would have loved
Yeah. That's Xavier, that's your best friend, right?
What?
Garrett?
I heard you said it was school.
Huh?
Did we not tell you that yesterday?
And then tip you down.
No.
Yeah, you did.
So we didn't.
Oh, you're such a fact. You're right. I am right. I know. I know what it is. I know what you're talking about. I know. Dude, I absolutely am. I know for a fact. I know for a fact. So the thing is, it's big rock. It was just actually like convincing me to get down like that. No, dude, honestly, it's what happened. I'm just gonna kind of upgrade my RAM. That was the one thing I think I said. I downloaded this upgrade RAM. I downloaded this. I'm like 8 years old. Or like 10.
For those of you ready to move on, we're getting ready to make page 3 and 4 out of your book. The title of each of page 3 and 4 is Exponents at Order of Operations. And you need to put that in your table of contents, that page 3 and 4 is Exponents at Order of Operations. Don't tape glue anything just yet. How about you just get the title on page 3 and 4, Exponents in Order of Operations, and you get it included in your table of contents. Every page should have a title. That title should match your table of contents. You're welcome to the markers. You're welcome later to go back and use your own markers and do a better job, different job, be creative.
Shut up. It doesn't work well.
Sometimes I think it's easier to write on the things before you glue them in, because if the glue hasn't dried and you try to write on it, you know, then you tear your page. So sometimes I'd keep that in mind, that it just might be easier to wait on that. We're going to go to the section of paper that has the rectangle to it. And would you turn it like this so that the biggest rectangles are towards the top? What I want you to write in the top of that is grouping symbols. Grouping symbols. This is on the right, so it's really going to be on page. It's on the right side. So, it is page 4. I'll try to up on the board. Always have a diagram, Mr. Stoddard, always to keep you on track. Typically, this will seem backwards to you, but typically we're going to do the right page before the left page, even though I know that seems backwards that we're doing page 4 before page 3. But there's a reason for that. The right side is kind of when Mr. Stoddard and I are giving you information, and there's something about your brain that your brain likes it in that order. It likes to see on the right. It's kind of funny, we read left to right, but your brain first likes that to be on the right, and then kind of when you're practicing and doing something, kinda likes that to be on the left, but that's the way we number pages, it's 3 on the left and then 4 on the right. So they kinda go backwards a little bit, but typically we'll be doing the right side of the page first. And in that, top of that rectangle, very top one, write grouping symbol. And for a grouping symbol, some of you automatically think of something that looks like parentheses. So let's put an example of something in parentheses. It doesn't need to say A plus B, but put some type of a math operation in parentheses. Another thing, it's actually called a grouping symbol. Looks like this. It looks like a fraction. It might look like, unless you remember this or not, remember absolute value bars? We'll learn more about those later. Absolute value that might say something like -5 plus -7, but it's down in those absolute value bars. Don't worry about what all that means, that's the other thing for practice. The point is, that's a grouping symbol. Or it might just be brackets. The square one. Or it might be those little fancy ones. We'll make some of those fancy ones here in a little bit. Okay, next box down. Let's put a title on it. I don't have as much room to work vertically, so I'll write stuff across. You just fill up your box however it looks nice for you. It's your book. So the next box has got the title of exponent. You know, so exponents might be something like a to the second power, or c to the third power. That 3 has a name, it's called the exponent. The biggest number is called the base. So you have base and exponent. What does that mean, c to the third power? What does that tell you you're supposed to do? What math problem is it? Yep, c times c times c. It doesn't mean 3 multiplied by the c, but it means c times c times c. Next box says multiply, and these big letters, or divide. And then I want you to draw an arrow showing that you go left to right. Can you think of a time that you'd ever divide before you would multiply? Would you ever divide before you did in the same problem, would you ever think of dividing before you multiply? That's right. If it's farther to the left, you would. Whatever is farther to the left, like you're reading a sentence. If the divide is the first thing you come to, then that's the first thing you do. And then the last box, you know what that says, add or subtract from left to right. Add or subtract. It does not mean go through and do all the adds and then go back the second time and do the subtract. Left to right.
Does anyone have any questions about the first 4 steps? Anything at all? Clear on it? You're able to explain it if I call on you right now to the rest of the class? Bruce?
Why do you think
Anyone? Aaron, you have a question?
No.
Okay.
Why do you think I got a question?
Can anyone explain the A over B fraction in the first grouping symbols? Anyone able to do that?
Can you explain it to me?
Sure.
Here's what-
I'm gonna just just do that just now to make sure that we're very clear on that particular topic.
Oh, we better not use that. What would you do first? Yeah, because it's considered a grouping symbol. Some people don't think of that as a grouping symbol, but this is the first thing we should do first. This is considered a grouping symbol. I can show you a better reason why. That's at the top of the list. That needs to be done first. Here's why. Often, though, they might look more like this, though. Instead of that, it might say 13 minus 18 plus 2 over 4 minus 2. That's a better way of thinking it as a grouping symbol, where you do all of this, and then you gotta do that. So, fraction bars, you need to remember to think of those as their grouping symbols. They're in that top category, what you do first. We'll practice that. Okay, if you have it already, would you get that piece put on your page there on the left hand, or the right side, sorry, it's on the right side. We do right side, then left side. If you already glued it on the left, that's okay, but it goes on the right side. Take glue sticks. Anything that's one-sided, glue sticks might be your faster, cheaper way to get it in your book. It's just one-sided. Otherwise, that tape, you're going to run out of tape quickly and faster.
Hey, just a reminder, your spellings aren't supposed to be out. An awful lot of them.
Shut up, no. That's your fault. Yes, I have, bro.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be individual.
Yes, he does. How does he not have a
Okay.
phone? Tell my mom. Go ahead. Dad, I see you trying to give your phone to him, Dilly. This is his phone.
Let's go make the little pyramid plate, or piece. We're going to put your old favorites on there. Yeah, I figured that where? P, what's next? E, M, D, yep, and, yep. The reason the M and the D are vertically is because they're kind of equal in importance. As you go left to right. Always, left to right.
Shut off to one side or the other. Don't go down.
Let's go add some things to the P though. Let's go add a variety of, and you can just add your own in. Go add some grouping symbols in the box with the P. You know, maybe some parentheses. Ooh, maybe you can make this fancy set-looking brackets. Maybe you could do one of those fraction bars again to remind you of that. Maybe you want to make the square brackets. That P, really, I don't think it's the best way to say that. There's so much more that happens when we think of P for parentheses. Let's go ahead and glue that page in your book. You might want to put it off to the side a little bit. We're going to do an example, and I want you to have room to work an example. You'll be okay. There's room underneath right here.
What?
Push off to the side.
I don't want to go.
Out to the side, would you write this example down that I wrote up here on the left of the board? Did you write 17 minus 5 squared divided by 5?
I missed that. Did you already get it glued down?
17 minus 5 squared
Just push off to the
divided
side
by
of the page so
5.
you can write. We're gonna write next to it so if you get some room. If you already have it down.
This is fun.
Alright.
And now would you pick up a highlighter? And you might make sure you're right before you do this. Would you go underline the first thing that we should do? So be careful. Make sure if you're not confident, what is the first thing we should do out of this? We better do that exponent. So let's go underline the 5 squared, and then right underneath that, where you underline, would you write the answer to 5 squared, which is 45. Now would you write out the rest of the question all lined up with where it ought to go? And then with your highlighter, would you underline what we should do first out of that row, which is the 25 divided by 5. Let's underline that with a highlighter. 25 divided by 5 is 5. Write the answer right underneath it. Try to keep all the other stuff lined up from right where it was to start with. And then you're finished. 17 minus 5 makes 12. Now, while we have a couple extra minutes and you still have some supplies on your table, you should go back, use any of the other highlighters, markers, go back, add anything that you want to add, go back and highlight anything, just so that it's not a big burden later to go back and make your book look nice. There's no guarantee that you'll get the same basket by any means back. Hopefully I do hope they get switched up. So tomorrow, you're probably going to get a different basket, different colors. That's okay. Don't get up and switch them. It'll be okay. If you have anything at home, you guys have extra scissors, tape, markers, anything that's just in the junk drawer, you want to bring it in, you can keep it all to yourself, and we'll spread the wealth and divide it up amongst the other baskets. You can do whatever you want to do with those. So now let's maybe just take everything, put it back in your basket, all the highlighters, tape, markers, back in the basket. And you didn't think this was all going to be scrapbooking class, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, no. We have homework for you. Your homework is a worksheet. It's titled 1-1. It's not going to end up in your notebook. It's just the old-fashioned worksheet homework that we will check tomorrow. Okay? So, it's on its way to you.
I don't even know what I'm in class. I had an A last. You're talking. You're gonna listen. It looks like you made so bad for you. What's wrong? Every time. This is a weird laugh. Yo, dude, hold on, Summer, you're free, man.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
I'm starting to bad.
That's mean.
I don't know if I'm right now.
Dude, look at this. Look at this pocket up here.
Everybody got a worksheet?
It's gonna make sure that the glue's all here.
Yes. Why? It's good. What you remember. I remember everything. It's better. I'll have to think.
You got three?